Welcome to Slow News Day Live. My name is Steve Poigan, and I'm here in beautiful Boulder Creek, California, where the flannel shirt is our state flag, the pit bull is our state bird, and cannabis is our state flower. Before the story, I am not going to be on, or will only briefly be on tonight's special Free Assange vigil. I got called into work. I can't get out of it. I hate that fucking job, and I can't wait to walk away from it. And you guys could help me do that. At any rate, Adam Koch, Libertarian candidate for president, will be on tonight. Tony Tigg, who has been a very vocal, literally, supporter of Bernie Sanders. He's written hip-hop music about the dude. He'll be on the show tonight. There's somebody else too who I can't remember, even though I was just looking at the fucking list because I'm smart. At any rate, that show will start at 10 p.m. Eastern Time, 7 p.m. Pacific, and I will listen, but I will not be able to be on. I'm going to try and hop on during my dinner break. Okay. You guys know that this is out of character for me to talk about something that happened on The View, right? I don't watch the show, but there's a clip that is rapidly going viral, and that falls within my wheelhouse because it centers around Julian Assange. And John McCain's daughter, who I am convinced ate Paula Deen in order to become her more quickly. Well, I'll pull up that clip and we'll let you listen to it.
What would you do if you were locked in a room for just really quick years?
Oh, fuck you, computer.
Well, I wouldn't be a cyber terrorist, which he is. He hacked information. He leaks included classified documents that put our national security at risk, our military. You know who the lives of spies and diplomats is the military. How many people have the American government killed innocently, and how many has WikiLeaks? So you think the military is putting...
I hope you guys hear that. There's more to the clip. What I want to get... What I can't really communicate at this point is the look of utter contempt and disdain that Pamela Anderson has for John McCain's daughter in this particular segment. But I tried my best to communicate that through the thumbnail for the video. So hopefully if you're just looking at the thumbnail, you can see the look on Pam Anderson's face, which is pretty openly, oh, I hope you die in a fire and it hurts. Like it's beautiful. John McCain's daughter is on The View, not because she's some foreign policy expert or because she has actually done anything in her life or even anything other than somebody's guest on a TV show, because she's John McCain's daughter. But boy, does she have opinions on Julian Assange. I don't know if you caught that or not. I'm sure I know I did, because they have John McCain's daughter mic'd better. But she called Julian Assange a cyber terrorist. Now, this is a charge that not even the United States government has levied against Julian Assange. The hacking charge that they do have on him isn't even on him. It's not, they're not physically accusing Julian Assange of hacking. Oh, hey, Ed, how's it going? Yes, John McCain's daughter is disgusting. I completely agree with that. I'm going to reiterate real quick. I am 99% convinced that John McCain's daughter ate Paula Deen in order to absorb her racism and hatred and become her more quickly. Um, and it's a working theory. I don't have any proof that John McCain's daughter ate Paula Deen in order to become her more quickly. It's a possibility that I'm considering. Um, and I'm not going to go Full Metal Lawrence O'Donnell and report it as fact, because it's not. Again, working theory. I have no proof John McCain's daughter ate Paula Deen in order to become her faster. None whatsoever. I have no idea what the hell the computer just blacked out for. That's pretty weird. We've had some brand new black helicopters flying over around in the mountains. They did say they were going to step up cannabis eradication for people who didn't have permits. It was going to start looking like the good old camp days again. Anywho, let me play a little bit more of the clip because it's what Pam Anderson closes on that that I feel is the most important part. So I apologize for the prattle from John McCain's daughter.
Lives at risk. Oh, calm down, sir. I'm actually genuinely curious about your relationship with him. War crimes need to be punished, and they haven't. The war crimes that he's exposed, no one's done anything about it. But they put him in jail to shut him up.
Are you talking about the 210 video of the helicopter fire killing civilians in Iraq?
Yeah, well, that's one thing, but there's so many other things that he's exposed. So what would you say to the spies who are putting themselves at risk for national security with your relationship with him?
Hold up real quick. What would you say to the spies who are putting themselves at risk for national security? One, you knew you were doing that when you signed up. Nobody signs up to be a covert spy going, it was the safest job I could find. I don't know. It was either that or go work in the middle of the ocean on an oil derrick. Those were my only two jobs. Super spy, work on it. Oh, and I could have been an underwater welder. But outside of those two other things, oil derrick or underwater welder, spy was the only option I had. And I didn't know that it was going to be a dangerous gig when I got into it. I thought that I would be, filling out a little paperwork. Maybe there was an office gym and I could go and, spend my lunch break there, get swole, and then come back and fill out some more paperwork. I had no idea spy was going to be dangerous.
Well, I don't think there's nothing proven that he's actually put anybody at risk. They've gone through this over and over again, and I think that people like Edward Snowden, Chelsea Manning are heroes, and Julian Assange is a publisher. Who knows who thinks that? But
there we go. I think Edward Snowden and Chelsea Manning are heroes, and I think Julian Assange is a publisher. And she's right on all three counts. There's the amount of spin, bullshit, lies, fabrications, and half-truths that John McCain's daughter is going to have to go through to walk around those facts. Edward Snowden and Chelsea Manning are heroes. Julian Assange is a publisher, and I would include Julian Assange in that list of heroes. You can't sustain the weight of your own fucking bullshit trying to walk around those simple facts. Huge props to Pam Anderson for coming just about everywhere but a Free Assange vigil to talk about this. And then, of course, because she's John McCain's daughter and because she doesn't understand how you could possibly support someone who wasn't either family or you weren't personally interested in, she throws some shade to Pam Anderson about the nature of her relationship with Julian Assange. This is something that I'm pretty sure Taylor and Christy are going to cover on the vigil tonight. About how women who support truth tellers get smeared relentlessly, and get smeared for either currently wanting to be fucking, or only being a part of the cause because of the potential of fucking. And it's horrific and cynical and fucking disingenuous, but the fact that the accusation primarily comes from women in positions of relative power, relative authority, to me personally speaks more about the way that our whole society is organizationally structured than anything else. But that's some fucking sick bullshit, and I wish that y'all didn't have to experience that, especially if you're just, trying to shine a little fucking spotlight of truth in an otherwise bullshit situation. Bob Remersa. If there's ever another Assange, she'll have to be extraordinary at stealth and disguise. Pretty bad how a real journalist is treated anymore. You're right about that. So we know from the video footage of Mark Davies at Politics in the Pub, Mark Davis, Politics in the Pub, that Julian Assange was placed front and center into this by people at The Guardian and Der Spiegel and the New York Times in order to provide cover for them as employees of simultaneously MI5 and The Guardian, provide them some cover, provide them the ability to say, oh no, it was that guy, and all we did was report it. It's certainly not a violation of any country's Espionage Act for us to simply just report what these leaks are. Right, say it so, So yeah, Assange was hung out from the moment they had access to this information and reported back to Home Office what this information was. And to follow up with your second statement there, we don't want real journalists in this country. This country doesn't want real journalists. This country reacts with a visceral hatred to real journalists, nationally, not individually. And there are plenty of us that agree with that sentiment and are calling for real journalism. That's Bob. That's why this fucking show exists. That's why I have on Whitney Webb. That's why I have on Elizabeth Voss. That's why I have on John Kiriakou. That's why I have on content creators who aren't fucking bought. It's because the space has been created for actual journalists and people with an opinion that isn't fucking dictated by Langley, sent down through Reuters, and then just copied onto a piece of paper and repeated ad nauseum by different talking heads, pundits, or fucking quote unquote journalists. That's why. Fred. Man, a lot of people obviously have directed a ton of shit and anger at Pamela Anderson over the course of her career and the choices that she's made and whatnot. And I'm not talking about like getting naked or marrying Tommy Lee. I'm talking about, like Barbara. That was a bad decision. But yeah, it's created this like collective picture in people's heads that because she's been, because the only thing that people have ever dedicated any like time, energy, or print to is how she looks, that's the sum total of her parts. And it turns out that she's a deeply intelligent, deeply caring, very activated citizen in her own country. And like, oh, you're right, Fred. It's great when someone like John McCain's daughter underestimates the fuck out of Pamela Anderson only to get fucking just stomped on in her own house again. Like, I don't know if John McCain's daughter realizes it, why she's there or not. Like, she's there to be a more respectable, I guess, respectable, I don't know, or likable, token blonde conservative on The View. Like, I'm pretty sure that's been their format the whole time. They have like one blonde lady who doesn't know shit about shit and is only famous because of like who they married or who their dad was. But they've got a lot of thoughts and a lot of opinions on things, and that's why they're there, to like show the rest of the world that you're allowed to be mean to these people. Chris Walsh, McCain's seed isn't very intelligent, so it's brain candy to see them get taken down. You know what, Chris? I played the clip. I can't show you the clip because at the moment I am a couple patrons short from having the internet speed in order to run the software to do that. So that might be a great time to mention that. If you go to patreon.com/slow news day for like any fucking amount, whatever you can contribute to the show on a monthly basis, that helps me get the internet speed to do things like show you clips and do things like show you static images, so you don't have to see 3/4 of a banjo or my backyard the entire time. And then a little bit like that I need a month for my internet. On top of that, dude, it's gifts for you guys. It's shirts and hats and stickers and shit like that I want to get sent out to the people that are supporting the show. So I apologize, Chris, that at this time I can't do that for you, but I'm fucking working on it. If you go to my Twitter at Slow News Day Show, I do have the clip of it up. It's also making the rounds over the internet pretty well. I believe it will be discussed, at least in part, on the Free Assange Vigil tonight, which again, I hope to be able to check in on. What time we got here? Yeah. Yeah, I think that's about what I have for this video. I will be back in about 15 minutes, because I want to have a fucking a serious conversation about suicide. So yeah. Until then, it's about 2:00 now. I'll see you around 2:15. Until then, this has been Slow News Day. I'm Steve Poikinen, and good luck to us all. I wonder if it'll do it today. I'm really enjoying how this happens. There we go. Thanks, YouTube.